A German psychologist conducted a research, and the research gave a result and shows that in your memory, anything you read right after 20 minutes, 50% of it is gone. Right after 1 hour, 70% of it is gone. And after a day, what remains in your memory is just 10%. That is if you did not take the right step, if you did not use the right techniques. And that is what this video is all about. Once you are able to take the right techniques and the right step, you will never forget what you have read, and you always recall and remember faster. So I would like you to take your time. If this is your first time coming to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Subscription is free and it doesn't cost you any money. Subscribe to this channel, and after the subscription, please press the bell icon and share with friends and family. Let them also enjoy this thing. Okay, recording of memory and remembering things faster cut across all sectors. If you are a student in the secondary school, university, college, or you have graduated and you have to go through some thesis, it's very good to build your mind and memory. So this video is all about that, and I made it so short, full of information. So please subscribe. Thank you as you do so. Our brain is programmed to delete excess information that we don't need every day. That is why when we read things, most of the time, the information will be deleted. Our brain contains two compartments. We have the short-term memory and we have the long-term memory. Most of the time, our brain stores things in the short-term memory. That is the major reason why our brain deletes things easily, because short-term memory, things get deleted easily. In order for you to remember everything you have read, whenever you read it, you need to take the information from the short-term memory, you slot it into the long-term memory. Once it gets to the long-term memory, it stays there and you remember faster and you never forget. Now, this video I'm making now is for you to know the methods in which you can use to slot in your information into the long-term memory. So there are techniques and principles that you can use, which makes it very simple and easy. For things to stick into your brain and you remember faster and you never forget. There are 3 stages of reading that you must always follow. The first stage of reading is what we call pre-reading. The second stage is the reading proper. And the third stage is what we call post-reading. The first step is pre-reading. Pre-reading involves you browsing through the information you want to understand. You browse through it, just read through. If you did not understand, it is okay. But the main point is for you just to read through. When you are reading through, what you are trying to do is to familiarize your brain and make sure the thing is registered. This sets you in the mood and registered it in your brain. That's what we call registration. Make your brain familiar with it. Okay? So the second step now is reading proper. Under reading, we have different categories. Okay? You must read with attention and you must read for comprehension. How do you do that? You have to get a place that is very silent and okay for you to assimilate this. If you are having a headache, you are feeling sleepy, the best thing for you is to get the sleep first. After sleeping, you can now go ahead and read. When you are reading, in every sentence, we have a full stop. The meaning of the full stop means you have to stop fully. You stop fully. Now, you now use your hand, cover the book, try to recall what you have read, try to remember, try to comprehend. Think in your mind and try to say it with the understanding. If you can say it, good. You go on with the second sentence. When you are reading the second sentence also, reading with attention, once you get to full stop, you stop fully. And you recall again, you try to look at your mind, what have I read? And at the end of the day, when you finish a whole paragraph, you take it together again, you read through, and you try to remember what you have read. That is what we call reading. Later in this video, I will still explain to you a lot of methods that we can use to read in the easiest way and the perfect manner. So let's go to the third step. The third step is post reading. Post reading is mainly for us to recall. That's the third R. We recall what we have read. Recalling means you try to ask yourself questions. Okay, what have I read? What is it that are the points that I've gone through? You try to figure it out, because if you did not test your brain, you forget easily. The secret to retention of what you have read in your brain is for you to ask questions from your brain. Recall. Once when you are reading and your brain knows that you will ask questions, sometimes I talk to my brain when I was a student. When I'm reading, I will tell my brain before I start that I will ask you questions. My brain, you better get it now because I will ask you questions. And it works. Now, let me give you the tricks and method in order for you to understand properly and get it easy. Okay? It depends on your ability. You can take any method you like. I'll give you 10 tricks that you can use. So I will advise you to follow this video to the end, because at the end, the second to the last and the last trick, that is the second and the first, because I'll be starting from the 10th trick now. So the 10th method. How do you understand what you learn? Students make mistake of cramming without understanding. The disadvantage of cramming without understanding is that when you get to the exam hall, you forget one thing from what you have crammed. It means you forget all. It disorganize everything. So that's why it's good to understand. Try to understand before you memorize. Taking for instance, you are given a lot of notes. You must be able to underline those words that are very, very important and germane. Those are the words that you have to put in your memory. If you remember those ones with the understanding of what you have read, you will be able to use your own language and words to bring them together, which makes it very, very easier to understand and to recall from your brain. So learning the most necessary information. Let's say, for example, in chemistry and physics, Boyle's law. Boyle's law states that the volume of a fixed mass of a gas is inversely proportional to the pressure, provided the temperature remains constant. So you have to pick out those words there. The volume of a fixed mass of a gas, that volume, you underline it, is inversely proportional. Inversely proportional, you underline that, to its pressure, you underline pressure. Provided temperature remain constant, you underline the temperature that is constant. So once you can pick those ones, you'll be able to amalgamate and bring them together, and it will make a lot of sense instead of cramming unnecessarily. This one works in terms of characteristics. Maybe you are given features or characteristics of something. Okay, what you have to do in this instance is that if they have listed this from number 1 to 5, for example, now your brain memorizes the first and the last easily. That's how brain works. It takes number 1 and the last number, it takes it easily. So what you have to do now is to leverage on that. So you have to rearrange. Take the best one, the most important one, put it in the first and the second. The second most important one, or the third most important, put it at the last end. And most of the time, what I do is that those ones that are very lengthy, that are very, very, that have a lot of word, that is not easy to put in my brain, that's what I put in number 1 and number 2. I'm provided the last one. So it helps you, and when you are reading next time, you can change it again, interchange it, because brain picks the first and the last easily. So that's the 8th method. So let's go to the 7th method now. Take your mind off from what you have read for some time. Sometimes some people call it space recovering, or space recurring, or space repetition. You read for 30 minutes, you have a break, you do something else. You can read something else, you can read novel, or you can play, you listen to music, or you watch television for the next 15 to 30 minutes before you come back to what you are reading. Brain assimilates better when you do things intermittently. So that's why we call it interfering theory. You interfere with the reading intentionally to allow the brain to rest before you start again. Okay. For you to learn opposite things. If you are talking about men, for example, try to learn that of women. If you are talking about something that is good, try to look at the bad aspect also. When you take your time and you are looking at the good and the bad, before you know it, your brain catches up. What does that mean? If you are reading, for example, in your room, try to allocate what you are reading, liken it to some things in your room, liken it to something that it has been arranged properly, your room, maybe in the class, the chair, the table. Try to liken what you are reading with those arrangements, because when you want to recall, those things comes to your mind and it makes it easier for you to come up with something good. So it builds the connection. You can use story to call things out. Let's say, for example, in chemistry, Avogadro's law. We always recite that Avogadro's law says that equal volume of all the gas at the same temperature and pressure contains equal numbers of molecules. Sometimes we even clap, we even drum to make it so interesting. And because of that, it makes it so easier, because when you learn in a funny way, when learning is fun, learning is also easy. So you make it so interesting so that you not feel stressed up. So you can use music, okay, make up story and make up music in one way or the other. You can use a tape recorder naturally. You record your voice, you record what you have read, put it in a tape recorder. So you listen to it in a repeated manner, intermittently, because something you listen to often and often stick to your brain naturally without cramming. So that also helps. Anything that you want to retain in your memory and you want your memory to remember very fast, and you don't want your memory to fall off and you don't want to forget, you have to visualize. Look at what you know, link it with what you did not know. Okay, from known to unknown, you visualize it, liken it to something that you can visualize, that you can see, that you can gather together, so that whenever you want to recall and remember such things you have read, once you are able to visualize what you have visualized earlier, it will recall and bring the memory back and make it very, very easy. When you are reading, you might need some material, some textbook for you to help you and guide you in your reading. Most of the time you can go online, so choose the best material and it will really help you. So thank you for listening to this video. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, share with friends and neighbor, let them also enjoy it. In this channel we teach mathematics, physics and chemistry. If you check the channel, you will see a lot of videos we have made on chemistry, physics and mathematics. Thank you and God bless.